magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
What's up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? It's the Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday Night live stream main event. I'm your host, Protoman. I'm the face that runs this place. I'm the voice you hear Monday to Friday, and it is Saturday. And we're not upstairs like last time. So yesterday we had a little surprise stream. I got a whole bunch of boxes of these and wanted to crack them live for you guys instead of just opening them up privately. And it was pretty fun. So, I mean, the views weren't that great because most people aren't into trading cards. But we might do something like that again in the future. I don't know why. It was really fun doing it and cracking open the packs and just soaking them in with you guys live. So that was pretty cool. Anyone who was there live to check it out, pretty cool stuff. The replay of the segment is in the live tab of the podcast. If you want to check it out, we opened some packs and discovered some weird mysteries. This single card here blew up Twitter. Let me tell you, blew up Twitter. People were just going like, what is going on here? So you guys got to experience that live with me on that one. But a lot of cool stuff. Maybe we'll talk about it later today because we got quite a few things to cover. We're going to have some fun tonight. We are going to be consuming some goods of the Transformer nature, and you will decide what I eat or drink in this case. But yeah, so we're going to cover all of that. Who's in the chat today? We got YLagY, Patreon members and YouTube members and everything. We got Patrick Brown. We got Brainstorm 2002, Transformatics, James Hopskin. Got to look at the other computer here too. Prince and Phalanx 59. We got Rodimus Toys. We got Will Murphy. Rudy Mack. Haven't seen you in a while, Rudy Mack. T-Formers 2002, also our Patreon member. Talib is here. Hope I'm not missing nobody. Bigums is here. People are starting to roll in now. Prime Time. Haven't seen Prime Time in a while. He just came back last week. So we're going to cover some Transformers news. Horned Owl, what's up? And after we do that, we're going to check out some cool stuff, to say the least. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So let's jump into it, shall we? We're going to start first with an update from what we covered earlier this week. So it was the 38th annual Hot Wheels Collector Convention. And oddly enough, this convention runs but from Sunday to Wednesday. What a weird pocket of days. I guess because it's an older fandom. And when I mean older, I mean even older than Transformer fans. It could go back to guys that are in their 70s. So they had one of Hot Wheels' designers was there, Eric Hahn. And at his booth, he had our first look at the Track Fleet Ultra Magnus diecast, as well as here's some updates of different angles, as well as the box art and what else he's going to be shipping with around that same time. Apparently, to make up for the Track Fleet Optimuses that were having a tough time getting them because they were getting scalped like crazy, Ultra Magnus will ship with Optimus Prime again to fill the wave due to demand. So that's pretty great. Yeah, I'm having a hell of a time finding any of these anyway. So any opportunities to make it slightly easier would be great. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, not much I could really say about a Hot Wheels, missing a little bit of paint there. Even in the art, doesn't have the red on the missiles. But what do you expect for something that's going to be like, what, $1.97 at Walmart for a little die-cast 1x64 scale Ultra Magnus? No, actually, no, this is the full-scale one, Track Fleet. So I think this is $4.99 or $4.97, something like that. But either way, pretty cool. I dig them. I mean, when we had RPMs all those many years ago through the movie line, I bought like practically all of them. I'm a big die-cast car guy, so it comes from my father. So I dig this. Pretty cool stuff. We'll keep you updated on it as we learn more information and more of that Hot Wheels collaboration. So pretty cool. What else do we got here? We have the DX Optimus Prime, This is going to be a Macy's exclusive through Super 7. And yeah, this one here too is another one of those cases of like we've been talking about them. Like every week, I feel there's a new one that's announced. We first talked about the Megatron, that was a a Target exclusive. Then we had the Soundwave, that's supposedly an Amazon exclusive, and now we have this Optimus that is supposedly a Macy's exclusive. Which Macy's is one of the distributors of the pop-up Toys R Us locations. So it might actually be something that'll be part of their Toys R Us locations, if anything. And we have the Optimus, based off of that Super 7 Ultimates Optimus, just stripped down to 90% of their accessories, but still in that higher upper echelon price point. 6-inch, multi-articulated figure. Unfortunately, no extra hands, no extra weapons, no extra heads, no extra accessories. Doesn't even have a matrix, despite what the box might show you from that classic 90s VHS box art. It is what it is, unfortunately. In my opinion, if this interests you and you're willing to spend the extra $15, probably get the official version. And some of those official versions, like the full-blown Super 7 Ultimates ones, are actually on sale in some locations. So you might even get them on par with this one here, unless you really like the VHS box that it comes in. Then I could kind of get that, you know? So we will see what happens with that. But again, I bought these on sale, and I think I paid 15 to 20 bucks for the full versions. And yeah, it's more in that kind of look. I love what Super 7 does. Don't get me wrong. It's just the pricing that always kinds of make me go, for $55, that's pretty much almost leader class Optimus Prime. So it is what it is. We'll keep you posted on it. This is volume 1. The Megatron was volume 3. The Soundwave was volume 2. Maybe we'll get a volume 4 just to round it out. I don't know, a Walgreens exclusive Grimlock. Who knows? But we'll see. We will see. Prince of Alex 59. I have my Studio Series 86 Optimus coming in on Monday. Well, there you go. That's a way better Optimus to spend something that's near $55 on. I'm with you on that one, brother. Where we at here? We got the Walmart Collector Con news. So how is this going to work? So October 10th coming up, which is very soon, we're going to be getting a preview from Walmart on their walmart.com website of some upcoming exclusives to their retailer, to their big box retailer. It's going to be Transformers, it's going to be Marvel, Star Wars, Funko. I know I'm forgetting a brand here, probably WWE through Mattel. But they're also going to have some big pre-orders that are going to be dropping the week after that. So October 10th, mark it on your calendar. We're going to get some brand new previews of what's going to be happening. If this silhouette is any indication, you can look at the bottom of the image here. And then the following weekend, we'll then have those pre-orders go up live for people that are interested. Obviously, we'll just keep you posted here on the podcast so you don't have to run around and freak out, figuring this all out. But October 10th, the previews will drop. We'll talk about it here on the pod. And then October 17th and 18th, I'm thinking it's going to be more the 17th because that'll be a Transformer Thursday, which is historically one of the 2 days when pre-orders drop, the Tuesdays and the Thursdays. So probably going to be this retro Optimus that we have on the bottom here, judging by the silhouette. Maybe also that Ramhorn 2-pack that we saw not too long ago with Steeljaw. Not Steeljaw, Rumble, so not Rumble. Who am I forgetting here? Ramhorn came with who? Oh, one of the Insecticons, excuse me. Came with one of the Insecticons. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens, but maybe we'll get some other stuff too, not just the Optimus, not just the retro reissues in general. Maybe we'll get some more. We will see come October 10th with a preview, and then the week after that with a big pre-order drop. Speaking of Walmart, we also got some new stuff that was found in store right now, so you might want to go check that out. This is part of the Culture Fly collection. Now, Culture Fly, the best way to explain it is when you go into the electronics section of Walmart, there's a section that's more the collector related stuff. and you'll see like unboxing of Nintendo and Zelda stuff. Like they have like weird blind box stuff, and they have the Funkos are there sometimes. So if you go to that section of the electronics section where they have all of that stuff, Culture Fly has their little section there, and you're going to be able to pick up a Matrix replica. It's kind of like in between adult size and kid size. It doesn't light up. It's just a Matrix replica. It looks like it's $29.99 over there. But what's really cool is they also have a decal 4-pack, and one of those decals is a limited edition Megatronus Prime ultra rare first edition decal sticker. And be careful, you don't want to crease it. So there's a 4-pack there of decals, so that's really cool if you know what I'm talking about from the movie. So that's awesome. I definitely want that. Man, I hope I could find that locally here in our Walmarts. But the Matrix 2 is cool. We don't have the price for the decal one, but I can't imagine it's that expensive. Both of these are done by, again, Culture Fly. They were found in a Walmart literally yesterday. So go check out your local Walmarts. These are probably popping up right now. Right now. So pretty hype. I dig it. Just the sticker alone is cool. If you know, you know. Pretty cool. So again, check it out. That's out right now as we speak. What else do we got? We also got our very first look of a full-blown video. So Evan Brooks from Hasbro Design, pretty much Hasbro Pulse's YouTube channel, uploaded a video, an hour-long video of Evan Brooks from Hasbro Pulse Design and Transformers messing with the EP1, which is pretty much the final figure before the paint decos are put on it, and maybe some of the hues of the plastic deco might be a little different of the molded in plastic. But an hour-long video showing every single aspect of this figure. Everything. Transformations, sizes, combinations, Easter eggs, gimmicks, how big the spoilers are for this, the trailers, the ladders. Hey, here's the little headmaster, prime master, whatever you want to call it. Here's how big he is compared to other figures when combined, how massive he is, how everything's going to be packed, how stuff is going to be separately packed. Oh, these pieces here are going to be on 5mm pegs. You could plan this out for pegging on your other figures. Like, every single thing. Again, this video is an hour long. So there's nothing that's left unturned in it. Thank you, Evan, for doing this. That's, very smart of you Hasbro guys to really kind of jump the gun and really show everything so there's no false information out there when these get leaked from factories, let's say. So great stuff. Go check it out when you have a chance. And what they actually mentioned, I want to mention this too. If you've already seen the video, you might want to go back. If you go back and watch the video and you put the closed captioning on, the CC, on the bottom, there actually is designer notes that were put on the bottom too, of little extra notes and Easter eggs that Evan kind of forgot to mention. And so they went back and they put them in the design notes at the bottom through YouTube proper. So if you want to get an extra viewing of it and get some little extra Easter eggs and stuff, I don't want to spoil it. Go back and watch it yourself. It's a really good video, a good hour-long video. So when you're done looking at my ugly mug, you could go check that out too. And you got some good stuff. I forget, he does mention that the ship out date, I forget the exact date, but it will be happening really soon before the year is up. So stay tuned on that one. Pretty hype stuff. And speaking of also crowdfunding and Kickstarters and stuff like that, we also have an update once again on the Transformers 40th anniversary trading card Kickstarter. It is now up to $204,000. They are killing it. Imagine this thing only needed $19,000. It's absolutely killing. Over 805 people. There's still 20 days left on this thing. Man, people are really excited about it. They crushed all of the stretch goals. So they're going to have to make some more stretch goals because we were going to get these fancy, card stock special trading cards if they, crush these stretch goals. And these would be free bonuses for everyone who backed it. But man, they got to make more now because they're already past the 200,000 mark. They're going to have to do what? You know what they have to do? They have to do, it is the year 2005 or some kind of number, because they already did 84 and they already did 1984. So they're going to, maybe, I don't know, 250,000 and then something. But man, they're just killing it. So congrats to them. I do want to mention that probably either Monday or Tuesday, I will be having a one-on-one interview with the people at Dynamite Trading Cards, talking about this set and potentially talking about the future because of the success of this Generation 1 40th anniversary set. So stay tuned for that. Originally, it was going to be Marvin, the head guy behind it, Bob Budiansky, and Simon. But I was like, oh boy, to get Bob, who's in the West Coast, Marvin, who's in the East Coast, and Simon, who's in UK time zone, to get that all to work out with my schedule, I was like, you know what, Marvin, let's just do me and you for now. We'll go one on one. And I'm going to see Bob and Simon at future TF cons anyway. So we'll work something out there. But stay tuned for that. We're going to do a really cool segment talking about the future because this was really successful. And I want to talk about more, maybe some other generations of Transformers getting the full treatment because these card sets are crazy. Crazy. So check that out. We'll keep you posted as always. And the last piece of news, which is also going to be related to you guys, is this happened locally in Montreal. One of our local Montreal Transformer collectors, Pulse Dragon, went to his Asian supermarket and found some Transformer movie branded soda pop of Bumblebee movie and Rise of the Beasts. Now, there was no Transformers 1 soda pop. Maybe someone beat us to it, but there was the other two. And it had 3 different designs for each movie, 3 different Bumblebees, and 3 different Optimuses for Rise of the Beast. And so Protoman ran out and bought them. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to drink one on the stream. So the Optimus is Ramune flavor, which is like in Japan culture, it's kind of like Sprite. And then you got like this one's a grape flavor, they say. So are we doing Rise of the Beast today or are we doing Bumblebee movie with Bumblebee? So let me know. I'm not going to drink both. I'll save the other one for next week. And maybe next week, what I'll do is I'll bring 3 different designs, and you could decide design. What's up, Larry? So which one are we drinking? I'm not drinking both because I'm not a big soda guy, so I'm gonna kind of force myself through this paint remover. But it is what it is. So which one are we going with? I'll leave it for the votes for the time being. That'll be what we're gonna be down in today. But we'll also have some other foodie stuff too. So Ramune, which would be Optimus. Optimus. We got B. Grape Ape, which would be the B. Bumblebee is grape, and the Ramune is the lime, which is Optimus. It's more like Baja Blast. I don't know. I'm not a big soda guy. That stuff is poison. So I have it. I have like soda is literally my casual drink. If I'm out with people and I don't have a choice and it's there, okay, I'll drink it, but it's definitely not in my house. That's something I would suggest. Oh, there's a back and forth here on this one. So we got one for B. Looks like Optimus is winning this one out. So we're going to go with Optimus with the Ramune. And next week we'll have 3 different B designs, and you can decide which Bumblebee we're going to be trying. So let's crack open this one. So it's got that. Yeah, you're right. It actually doesn't smell like Sprite. It's got a different. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, it's actually better than Sprite. So when I used to work at Burger King back in the day, real talk, and I already wasn't a big soda drinker most of my life, but Burger King really solidified it for me because we used to have a breakfast griddle that we would do all the breakfast on, the fresh eggs and everything. And we used to use degreaser to clean it at the end of the breakfast shift. And then shout out to Lionel. He was such a great manager. I loved him. He was such a great boss. Shout out to Lionel. Love you, man. Lionel, who's Haitian, he's like, "Eh, viens ici," speaking French. It's like, "Come here, come here." And he would show me, don't waste your time with soap or degreaser. He took Sprite and he would pour it all over the breakfast griddle, and it would just peel off all the burnt stuff like nothing. And I was like, all right, never drinking any of that stuff, Fruitopia or nothing. I would drink Fruitopia or orange juice in my 5 years at Burger King, 5.5. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. That is some nasty ass stuff, but not too bad. Not too bad. So next week we'll be trying one of three bumblebees. One of three bumblebees. Oh yeah, I probably should mention that, Larry. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So if you're going to be going to TFCon Baltimore, it was recently announced that Peter Cullen will not be able to make it. He has other obligations or something supposedly. I don't know the whole story with it, so I'm not going to get into the specifics of why he's not coming. I will say one thing, dude is 83 years old, so if it's a health reason or just a hassle, I mean, I'm with you there. The way I see it is like this. Peter lives in the West Coast anyways, so it's not like he's going to be stopping doing conventions completely. So it's something where, look, there's going to be a TFCon LA in the future. He'll probably be maybe at that one. I'm not making promises, but if there's a proximity reason for him not doing it, I mean, dude, I'm 40 and I'm not a fan of doing all this traveling. I can't imagine for Peter, who's 83. Make it to 84, Peter. You got to make it to 84. My fellow Montrealer, you know. So I don't know what's the story, but Frank will be there. Peter won't, unfortunately. But I guess stay tuned for TFCon LA next year in when is it, Larry? February, March, 2025. So he might be there. Maybe they'll make up for it by putting him there, and that'll be definitely a much more closer thing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's just the name of the game, unfortunately. Thank you, Larry, for reminding me. That's true. That was news that recently broke through TFCon. Oh, I'm an old man. I'm an old guy. Look, like there's G1 toys up there that like I bought when I was a kid. you know, Like, not many people could say that. They could be like, "Ah, I was around during Beast Wars when I was 5." No, I was in high school when Beast Wars came out. You know? March, thank you. So March 2025, potentially, maybe Peter will be at TFCon LA. Potentially. Because at least he's in proximity there. It's not a big flight. It could be like an Uber ride or something. That stuff is vile. And speaking of vile, another thing, this is totally not me. This is the wife saw it, and the wife likes bringing junk food into this house sometimes. She bought these. This is not opened yet. I asked her, "Could I open it live on stream?" Coca-Cola Oreo cookies, really, with popping candy. Besties forever? I don't know. So we haven't opened these yet. We're gonna open this live on the stream too and try these, but we will see. Some people, 52. Well then. You know what? According to my Google Analytics, most of my viewers are between the age of 35 and 55. I actually have one of the more older audiences for content creators. Most people are much younger with their content creators. That's why when they did that whole COPPA thing with YouTube and they're like, we're trying to protect the kids. I was like, according to YouTube, no kids watch my stuff. They don't want to be educated. They just want to see toys. Let's see here. I have the Coke Oreos, the opposite of. Okay, well, we're gonna try one. Ah, geez, stupid packaging. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, geez, it even smells like Coca-Cola. What the hell is this? Oh my God. It smells like Coca-Cola. Oh God. Oh, geez, I hate this stuff. Oh my God. That's effing disgusting. Oh, it's got those pop rocks in there too. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, yuck. Oh God, I got the Coke aftertaste in there. Why would they do this? This is disgusting. Oh, yuck. Yeah, oh, she's finishing that. F that. That stuff's disgusting. Man, we have a whole bag of like fortune cookies upstairs. Yeah, what a surprise. An Asian household has fortune cookies. But we have a box of fortune cookies upstairs and I'm eating this garbage. Yeah. Oh my God, that is not. Where's my water? Oh my God, that is disgusting. Don't get that. That is nasty. There's your review. Holy moly, that is this. Wow. It smells like Coke and it tastes like Coke. Why would you put that in a cookie? Ugh. We got a super chat from Brainstorm 2002. I bought the 84 G1 Megatron recently. I'm really excited for it. Do you have it in hand yet? Be careful with transforming him because his metallic crotch clip, I guess is the best way to put it. Sometimes people like it gets stuck, so you don't want to damage it. And also, same thing, the connections for his elbows. I've bought and sold, no joke, 5 or 6 different G1 Megatrons throughout the years, and those are the 3 most common breakpoints. When I was on Storage Wars, like no joke, I was on an episode of Storage Wars, if you could find it on YouTube. Same story. They brought me one that was broken in like the shoulder connection areas, I guess you could call it. But yeah. Oh man, that is damn. Pop rocks are still in my mouth too. That is nasty. What the F? 2 cookies is 22% of your fat. Garbage. 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 Throw it in the trash. What a waste. What a waste. That thing was, I think that was like $5 for that too. What a waste. $5 Canadian. So like $1.20 American. I'm joking. Uh, Brainstorm 2002. I bought him off of eBay for 160. Oh, that's not bad. Well, considering you'll never see an official release, at least Western side here, that's pretty good. I bought mine, no joke. I bought my first Gun Megatron. It was 100% complete. Little bit of wear on the front sticker, but it was 100% complete. I bought it from a toy convention in the West Island of Montreal. This was like decades ago. I want to say like maybe 2001, maybe 2002. And I think I spent $90 back then. So like early 2000s $90. So when you think about the inflation today, you probably spent as much as I did for the same thing. So definitely a good find. 160 is really good. If he's 100% complete and in decent shape, that's a pretty good price for sure. Time of the end with the $2 super chat. Proto, our Transformers version of Nico Cato Avocado. Is that a content creator? Ugh, between this, I feel like I've already shortened my life between this motor oil and that. Ugh. And it's so sad because I know, like I always talk about eating healthy and then you got this garbage, but it is what it is. Let's go into some other stuff. So let's just do our where are we at here? Let's do our sponsors quickly, and then we'll get to other stuff. So we got Symbiote Studios, plush pins and t-shirts. I'm rocking the Optimus. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings, because we truly are Autobots. Truly Autobots. Check them out. I believe in the next couple of weeks coming up, we're going to have 2 new plush drops from Transformers, as well as a new shirt drop. So stay tuned for that. We also got the huge collection here. Again, we're going to get the Vanilla Slug. We're going to get the Megatron, the version 3 Grimlock. There's some other stuff that's cooking in the background that's going to be happening. So stay tuned for that. Really great stuff. All the other, of course, Hasbro brands too. Again, Symbiote Studios, thank you for sponsoring us and all the greatness that we do. And that amazing trip to San Diego with Hasbro and everything. Peace. That's awesome. And again, the Toy Armada with Aaron. Aaron's been really busy. He's been doing his art. He's been checking everything out. So go check out the last segment we did. We're going to try to record a segment this week coming up, or next week in theory. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to be recording a brand new Toy Armada. We want to get something out at least before TFCon Baltimore at the end of the month. So stay tuned for that. We'll have a new segment for you guys with me and Aaron on the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. And be sure to subscribe to the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer if you haven't already. It's a separate channel where me and Aaron talk about all kinds of different toys, mostly just Transformers, but also other brands that Aaron's worked on. And we go deep into the industry and everything like that. If you want to create toys or work in the industry, there's no better channel to watch. And of course, Aaron's book is going to be at TFCon. This one has Toronto here. I'm going to change the slide when we have more official information going up to me. But Aaron's book is going to be at Baltimore. It's also available on the website, archermonster.com/shop. And there has not been any updates to the Posca paintings outside of the ones that you see already on the shop because we are going into a big convention. And so a queue of paintings is being made exclusively for that convention. And these ones here that you're seeing are going to be brought to the show. So if you don't want them brought to the show and sold, I heavily suggest you pick them up from the store right now because whatever isn't sold by the time we reach, I don't know, Halloween or like October 30th, they're all going to get packed up and brought to Baltimore and put for sale. And I know they will disappear. There's going to be some impulse buys. I remember, which one was it? He had, I think it was one of the Cybertron characters. I forget which one. He was having a tough time selling. And then he brought it to TFCon Orlando, and it was like one of the first ones that sold for like 50, $60. So don't sleep on these because once they're gone, and they're one of a kind. So check that out, yo. We got a super chat from Alden Tolbert, $5 super chat. Imagine if Waspinator and Tarantulas joined the Insecticons. Well, they'd be very tiny, that's for sure. P.S. Feed that Oreo to either Unicron or Tornatron. Man, you shouldn't feed that to anybody. Don't feed. I wouldn't even feed it to like raccoons or something. I literally feel bad. Like that's just, man. What is in this stuff? There's like a million ingredients on there for this garbage. Ugh, yuck. I literally have I have sealed Transformers Robots in Disguise 2.0, like the 2015 series. I have sealed Robots in Disguise 2.0 Apple Snacks. Like I have a sealed bag. I think it came from Europe or something, and I kept it as a collectible and it's still sealed. I'd rather eat that. And that thing is like almost 10 years old now than this. It's disgusting. Hey, Aaron, there you go. I was just talking about his stuff too. Go check out Aaron's stuff too. Go buy some stuff. Where are we at? Where are we at? I want to make sure I know. Thank you for the super chat, Alden. And I definitely am not going to eat those damn cookies again. Ashnud really love to see a Kremzik. Well, you'd have to have like a masterpiece instructions, and then Kremzik would make sense to be painted on there, I guess. If you just bring a Megatron, maybe. That Tornatron is sick. Hey man, it's on the website. Look, it's on the website. Go get it. Because I'm telling you, oh god, I'm getting all gas. Oof. It's stupid soda. I'm getting all gassy from this stuff. Yeah, I would suggest get it off of the website before October 30th or 31st because I know Aaron's going to be bringing all of those to Baltimore. Aaron says here, I have a Takara Godzilla canned meat stuff. Oh, geez. Jeez. You know what? Real talk, real talk, real talk, real talk. I have something even older. No joke. And who wants to see the craziest preserved Transformers food merchandise? No, I can't get it because then it's going to melt. So many years ago in 2007, they did, no, it wasn't 2007, it was 2008 going into the Revenge of the Fallen movie in 2009. They did freezies, like frozen, you know, of Revenge of the Fallen, and they came with little tattoos. I bought a bunch of them just to get the tattoos, and I ended up with a whole bunch of them. I kept them in my fridge, in my freezer, and then we ended up getting a second freezer, like any Asian household has to have because they have so much food in the house. We got a second freezer, and there was like a bottom one, and I literally have had them sealed to this day since 2008. So they're coming on what, 15 years now? You know, if not, I'm bad with the math here, but I've had them. So Barricade, Megatron, there was an Optimus one, a Bumblebee, and they're all different flavors. I should take a photo just to show like how legit. because I don't want to have to go all the way upstairs, go to the kitchen, take it out, show it to you guys. Then I want to put it back so it doesn't melt. But no joke, I still have that sealed. Still have it sealed to this very day. Ugh, yeah. I don't know why I left it like that too. I was just like, let's see, I'll keep these forever because it's all sugar water, and I ate a bunch of them, and then I had like 3 boxes of it. Let me find which one was it? I think it's this one. Let's go to the cards for a second. It was movie related, so 1 second. I think these are them. Yeah, here they are. Ugh. So you got the Autobot logo, you got Optimus, and you got the twins. And then I think that was it. Yeah, it was just the 3 designs. And these ones here, these are the Smile Maker tattoos from G1, which are pretty cool. Ugh. So yeah, imagine bought multiples of those just to get some tattoos of the twins. I think I actually have some extras of those tattoos. I think I bring them to TFCon sometimes. I know I'm definitely actually I probably should even mention it. I did get some doubles of the Transformer trading cards from Transformers 1. I will be bringing them to TFCon. I don't have many. There's not many. I'm going to try to get a second box, excuse me, a second case of 5 boxes before TFCon uh, rolls around. And then I'll try to crack that one live on a live stream and generate some more doubles. And then you guys could just buy from me whatever you guys want. So you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on importing. Um, didn't the storm last year knock out your freezer? My storm knocked out all my electricity. I lost everything. But all the food in my fridge and freezer, and all the food in my secondary fridge. And what bothered me was because we bought all this shrimp, and all that shrimp went to waste. What else did we buy that went to waste? There was something else too that I remember like we bought, and it messed me up because I was like, damn, like, oh, we bought like some really good turkey, like freshly cut turkey, not like sodium nitrate, like garbage that you buy pre-packed and everything, like fresh cut off of the turkey there, and like like from the butcher with the brown paper and everything. And I was like so looking forward to making some nice turkey sandwiches, and then boom, we lost power. I should have eaten it right there, but you have this problem because you lose power and you go, oh, if I open the fridge, the cold's going to go out, so I'll leave it closed, and when we get the power back. And it was this game of chicken. And so then we were like, okay, if we take some of the stuff out and we put it in a cooler and we put it outside, that'll stay good. But it was a mess. It was a mess. Anything that could be frozen, we put outside. Anything that could not be frozen, like the milk, went to waste. It was a mess. Go check out that old segment. Aaron was cool because Aaron did his live stream to let everyone know I was alive, because I think I went like 5 days without power, didn't do any podcast segments. And then the Saturday that came up, I went to my parents's and I did a live stream from my father's record room basement just to let people know I was still alive. And I even posted photos. I had a tree, it fell on my power line and the line that I get my Wi-Fi internet from. So brutal. That was brutal. I do not wish that on anybody. Oh, you want a Kremzik plush? That could be done. That could be done. That could be something that could be done is like we get the Megatron one again, but it has a small little Kremzik with it. That would be cheap to make. That's something we could do. Make a note on that one. Yeah. A game of chicken, not a game of turkey, not a game of chicken. Yeah, seriously. And it sucked. Like all the shrimp went to waste. It was brutal. It sucked. Really sucked. But it is what it is, you know? It is what it is, unfortunately. Aside from that, what else? What else? What else? What else? Oh yeah, so I picked this up, my local anime store. If anyone knows who this guy is, this is what do you call it? Goddanar. Goddanar. One of my favorite mecha animes. Has a lot of waifu action in it. Very cool. Have a nice little PVC of him. Picked him up. Shout out to Suzaru. Uh, gotta love those Canadian winners. You're telling me, man. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to get more boxes of these, and I'll crack them open in a future live stream or whatever. And if I get a bunch of doubles, I'll make a nice little binder with a whole bunch of doubles that people could pick through. And yeah, we'll make them cheap at the show because I know a lot of people have been wanting to get those cards, but they've been selling out. Like Ami Ami had them on pre-order. Pre-orders are closed and now sold out. What was the other one? Taobao, Hasbro's official Chinese Taobao website had them for pre-order. Those are sold out. There is some distributors on Alibaba. I don't again, look, if you want to get them, they're on there, but if you don't get them, don't blame me because I'm always worried with ordering from Alibaba. Sometimes stuff never shows up. I've ordered many times in the past, and I'd have to say about 20% of them never show up. And then I have to contest it, and then it's a whole thing. It's a little so, but there is other places. There's Japanese TCG websites and stuff that you could order them from. But if you want to just get like specific characters, like oh, I want to get maybe no spoilers, but here everyone knows. I want to get Jazz, and these really cool cards. So like I'm gonna try to get as many doubles as possible, and that way you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to hope to maybe pull a Jazz card. I opened up a whole case, 4 boxes, 40 packs. Geez, like, you know, over 200 cards. I got one Jazz. I was lucky. And honestly, I'm not even close to a full set. So, did get some cool stuff though. What was the cool things that I got? Oh no, I think I brought them upstairs. Oh no, they're here. One sec. The cool cracks that I got from it was these numbered cards. They're both numbered out of 699, and it's of Optimus and Bumblebee there. So these are like the pulls, the big pulls, aside from the Alpha Trion and the Matrix of Leadership. So I put an order of those cards in on eBay from China. They should be here in a couple weeks. Okay, good. So there you go. Well, that's just it. There's probably people that bought them from Ami Ami and other locations and then are flipping them online. Look, I in the past, see, I bought some of the G1 ones and I didn't buy the whole cases. I would just buy the cards I wanted, and guess who I wanted obviously cards of. So I went out of my way, and they made 4 other sets before this Transformers 1 of G1 ones. And so I just bought all the Hot Rod cards throughout the years because it was just easier that way. And I'd buy them off of eBay, you know? So we will see. Blaster plush. Blaster would be cool too. Blaster would be cool. It was my first Transformer. But yeah, that's it more or less for the news. We'll go into some super chats, and then I'm going to figure out a way how to find chemical waste removal of both this. This I'm going to use to clean clean my pipes of my sink and everything. Oh God, this is. I will admit, it's not as bad as Sprite. Sprite and 7-Up is the worst. Is the absolute worst. Coca-Cola is pretty bad too. Like for me, in my tiers of like worst soda that you could have to like best soda you could have, probably like Orange Crush. That's not as bad on sugar, and root beer, depending on the brand. Like Barks root beer is like better than like I guess A&W root beer if you guys have that one, or what was the other brand? Hires root beer or some other brands. And then everything else is just trash from there. But Sprite and 7-Up are like the bottom of that. You should just not have that in your system. And you will never really see me drinking this stuff ever, but you got to do it for the content. Time of the end. Proto, would you show all your Hot Rod Rodimus cards? Well, they're not all in one place, unfortunately. I wish I could show you guys, but I'd have to mess with the camera. Hold on. So those 3 huge D-rings, these are like huge, by the way, have almost every Transformer card ever made. I just fill them with everything. And then on top of it, there's other ones. There's other trading card sets too that I actually have the binders for. So, and the unfortunate thing with those D-rings is that there's a hot rod card in the G1. You have to flip through a million things, and there's a hot rod. But yeah, I'll show you a little preview here. We'll do the first D-ring, which I have a nice little hot rod sticker here. I bought this sticker, no joke, from eBay back in like 1999. Someone was like, "Hey, I make custom stickers," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." This is like before, like, that was something anyone could do. And so I was like, "Oh, that's cool." It has the Target Master art. So you got some stickers here. These Aaron actually gave me these stickers. These were from a promotion for, I believe, the mobile game from back in the day. Aaron, was that what it was from? Or were these where you were giving out at the time for Transformers Armada because Transformers were coming back? I don't remember. But yeah, and then you got some promo cards and stuff like that from Rescue Bots. It's all when it's bigger stuff that doesn't fit in a thing. So you got, like, again, so much Transformer stuff. Let me find the hot rod ones though, so we don't waste everyone's time. And I'll just open up a page and then just show it to you and then put it back. So here's one. This is a Japanese hanging card. You would put a string through it and you'd hang them above your bed. If you ever watch like Japanese dramas or TV shows, or sometimes I see it in K dramas also, you'll see like a girl will usually have like a string across her bed, and it'll have like a whole bunch of stuff cards or trading cards. So they'll do that a lot. They'll put a hole in a trading card so people can hang them. So that's from 1987 or 86. This one, yeah, I think this is the 86 one from Transformers 2010. So you got that one there. Let's see what else we got. Here's some good ones. These ones are funny because they have terrible English on them. So you got a Rodimus Comboy, and you got Comboy, that cool Obari art there from Studio Ox. And then you got a reissue Rodimus trading card there. That's from the reissue Takara version. And then after that, you got a Menko. Menko is kind of what Pogs are in Japan, but they have a different way of playing with them. And there's a Studio Ox Rodimus on that one. Very, very cool. Not going to go through all the cars. We'll just go through the first book. And then we got, this was a UK exclusive. So fun fact with this one, this was the very first time the Hot Rod trademark was used again since they lost it back in 1991. It was a UK exclusive trading card used for the Robot Heroes line when they were blind packed in the UK as opposed to put on a blister card. Then you got, of course, Heroes of Cybertron, which was the Western import of the Mega SCF PVC line. So there's obviously the Rodimus there, which they call them Rodimus Prime. Yeah. Mountain Dew. Oof. Mountain Dew is also pretty bad for you, my friend. Mountain Dew is, you should look up the history of Mountain Dew and the old commercials that they used to do back in the day. Mountain Dew was like, it was almost advertised as like alcohol for children, like moonshine for children. One of their first commercials is like from the 60s or something. Okay, then we enter the Unicron trilogy, so you're not going to have any Rodimus cards except the one right here. 2000 to 2003 cons, BotCon. There you go. I remember it was some kind of like Armada thing. So there's this classic one, of course, right there, dead center, because the best always has to be in the center. Rodimus trading card from Energon. That was the first return to Rodimus in the West of an action figure, if you don't count the reissue. And then, of course, if you're going to have the Energon one, you got to have the Super Link one. Rodimus Comboy. Very cool. Very, very cool. If you got some super chats, guys, just throw them in. And then, of course, classics. Got that one there too, and some other cool guys. I loved that original classics figure. And then technically it's Rodimus, and then of course shield your eyes if you're sensitive and not based. But we can't talk about Rodimus without Kiss Play. So there's the full Kiss Play collection there, but there's Rodimus with Xiao Xiao. Love that. Kisuplea. And then more of this, more of this, more of this. Any Roddies here? No. Animated. A lot of animated stuff. It's true, when we're going to get to some of the animated ones. While I was in the Navy, whether I used to do, and I would joke that my pee was carbonated. Ugh. I would hope not. There's the tattoo, two of each, by Smile Maker. There's the Hot Rod one. Here's some cool ones. This is from the animated arcade game in Japan. And I know they made a whole bunch of Hot Rod related ones. So first you have this one here. I believe this was the one that came with the action figure also. So that one was pretty cool. The Ride and Chase animated arcade game. Rest in peace, Derek. He hooked me up with a lot of these because I got a fat stack of them from the Japanese fans, and he didn't need the doubles. So guess where those doubles went? That was back in BotCon 2011. Remember, we were all chilling in the lobby together. Where is the other one? Ah, here we go. This was interesting. It was part of the animated trading card game, but it was the Rodimus MPO9 masterpiece from back in the day. Really cool. And there's the art on the back, even though all the others are like animated characters. Very, very cool. I think that's it for Rodimus's. One moment. Oh no, here's a whole bunch. Silly me, totally forgot. Here's more animated trading card game. Not trading card, arcade game cards. There's a whole bunch of them there. That's the one that came with the toy. They got a whole bunch here too. You got on the back there. Very, very cool. And then some BotCon trading cards. You got that one there. Oh, actually, you know what? You're in luck. You're going to get some really cool stuff in a moment. Very unique. There's that one because Judd Nelson was a guest one year. Here's a cool one. So, I was hanging out with Sakamoto-san, Derek Wyatt, Eric Siebeneller, trying to see who else these were here. Josh Perez. So Josh Perez, Derek Wyatt, Eric Siebeneller, Silas. Silas is also a well-known artist in the Transformer community. And I'm trying to see who else. Anyway, so they used to give these blank sketch cards that you could use at BotCon. So we were all hanging out and they just everyone drew me a Rodimus. So this one here was, I think this was Eric Siebeneller's. And this was Derek's first attempt at Rodimus. And he just kind of did it quickly. And then he saw how nice everyone else's was. So this is Josh Perez's. This one here is also Josh's. Then Josh drew me afterwards when I had a full head of hair all those years ago. Thank you, Josh. Which one was Sakamoto-san? I think maybe this one was Sakamoto-san. I don't remember. I don't recognize the autographs. And then you got this one was Jenny something, and then this one was Silas. Then you got that again. So those were really cool. They all drew me one. Nice little drawing session. Here we go. Here's Ninjatron. Ninjatron drew one for me also. That was pretty cool. Remember that? Because I remember after I got a whole bunch of extras of them, when I brought them back to Toronto, I was like, hey, Dylan, could you draw me a Rodimus? I just wanted a whole bunch of people to tackle some for me. And then what's hilarious, so that we had a gathering of all the creative people. We all hung out together. And then the following year, so we all have these sketch cards again. And so you have Sakamoto, you got Derek Wyatt, you got everybody. And then they're like, let's draw a whole bunch of Proto-Mans. So that was pretty cool. So who we got here? So this one is, Nato-san. Nato-san. We got Derek Wyatt. We got Josh Perez. We got a whole bunch of different people. All of them draw Proto-Man. That's pretty cool. I think that one, I'm not too sure who that one is. But so everyone just like we're all just like shooting the cards around, and then I drew because I can't draw Proto Man for my life. That's the best I could do. So those were pretty awesome. Uh, let's see. Oh, here's the Ninjatron one. Excuse me. And then who did this one? So many. So there's Ninjatron. This one here is who the hell did that one? That one's really nice. I don't know. And then you got another one here too. Everyone drawing me hot rods. And then you got more trading cards from BotCon. Because again, Judd Nelson was one of the guests. So you got a whole bunch, and there's the blank trading card. All the rare foil cards. And then I'll just show this one. The uncut sheet of Rodimus cards. Thank you, Pete Sinclair, for that. And then, people could talk shit about Pete Sinclair all they want, but that guy always treated me like a god, and I'll always respect that about him. And they gave me this oversized card. He would always go out of his way to make sure I was taken care of. Free stuff. Oh, you don't have to pay to meet Judd Nelson. Just come. Come. Very cool of him to do that. So, and I never forget a good deed, you know? I'll never forget that. So, I ignore politics and all that silliness that everyone fights with him about. But then again, I'm Canadian, so I don't care about that anyways. So that was all the Rodimus cards in that binder. I have two more binders. Huge, thick ones there. Giggity. So I hope that was worth it for you. Yeah, definitely was worth it. Yeah, I should bring it to the non-sports card channel. Well, that's going to be happening one day. That's definitely something that's in the works. Been talking with Upper Deck, Dynamite, and Tops, and we're going to work something out because they see my audience here, and they see that because the trading card community on YouTube is very small and niche. So if someone like me infuses a very different kind of take on it, be pretty fun. Be pretty fun. So I hope that answers that. I didn't open all of them, but I opened most of them. Most of them. There's a lot of cool stuff. I love trading cards. I love trading cards because growing up, my father collected diecast vehicles still to this day, diecast Dinky and Corgi, vinyl records, and hockey cards from his generation. He loved hockey cards because hey, we live in Montreal, the greatest winning hockey team of all time, and how do you not collect hockey cards? And he's French Canadian, so of course he's going to love hockey. And so I was always around hockey cards, and some of my earliest memories of hockey cards were old O-Pee-Chee hockey cards with Ray Bourque and Wayne Gretzky, and then the early Upper Deck cards in the early '90s and stuff. I think it was 1990 was the first set, so had a lot of memories with that. So I was always around it. And then when those Marvel trading cards came out they came out in 1990, but the first set I got was 1991's Series 2. That was it for me. I was a big trading card guy and then would go to all the stores to buy trading cards. Shout out to Sports Card Coliseum, Black Lotus Cafe. That's literally what the store was called. Um, Triple Overtime, Carcian Cards. So many of them. I know I'm forgetting. Bruce Pearson. That was literally the name of a card store. A lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff. David Cabal, what's up, brother? Hi, guys. Out with the family. We'll catch the stream later. No problem, Dave. See you later, brother. But yeah, always been a big card guy, and that's why like when they put these out, man, when they put these out, and what's cool about these is, the one thing I like about trading cards today as how they were before, and some people might disagree with me because it's 50-50, and I'm on the other side of it, is because it used to be back in the day you could complete a set. Everything that was made for this box, you would be able to complete back in the day. Oh, there's going to be a set of 90 cards and 5 holograms. And yeah, those 5 holograms would be tough to get. 93 was a long time ago, brother. It would be tough to get, but at least it was possible, you know? Now what they do is you have the base set, which you can get, you have the chase cards, which you can get, and then you get those rare pull cards that are like near impossible. And I mean, once again, that's where we fall into this stuff, where like, look, only 699 these are made. So, and they're numbered. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea that there could be like rare sketch cards that only you could own. And it's not selfish because, yeah, I'm going to get that Optimus and Bumblebee, but you're going to open a bunch of packs and get something that I'll never be able to have. And that's cool because that means everyone who opens these packs have the potential to own something that'll be valuable and one of a kind. And that's special. It keeps the value. So, sure, if you're a completist, and I am a completist, I'll never own it all, but it also gives everyone something unique, you know? So I'm kind of into that. This is killing me. James, if I remember correctly, animated did Hot Rod wrong. Well, Derek told me the story like this. So originally, Sentinel Prime and animated was supposed to be Hot Rod. The original kind of like early, God, I wish I could reach my Sentinel Prime figure because even in the design. So in the early planning of Sentinel Prime, I believe Aaron, you might be able to correct me on this. I believe Eric Siebeneller was working on the toy and the design at the time. But the early planning of Sentinel Prime was supposed to be Rodimus Prime. And if you actually look at Sentinel Prime's toy, the fact that he's a snowplow, the plan was is that the snowplow pieces would actually now Sentinel Prime, he has it on his chest, the snowplow pieces in robot mode, but they actually would go behind him and make like the Rodimus spoiler. And if you mess with the Sentinel Prime Deluxe figure, it still has the engineering where you could use the snowplows as a Rodimus wing on the back, like the spoiler. So the design was there. And there was this early kind of like, oh, maybe we'll make it Rodimus and Rodimus will be. But then Derek actually liked Hot Rod, the character. He wasn't a big Rodimus fan, but he liked Hot Rod. And he was like, oh, if I do that, then that right away paints Hot Rod out of the picture completely. So they ended up making it Sentinel Prime, the character that died at the time. Sentinel Prime's biggest claim to fame was dying in the War Within comics. So like, oh, we'll do Sentinel Prime and that'll be that. It'll be like a new character. And then of course we would get Rodimus Major, Rodimus Minor, Rodimus Prime, all the different verbiage and trademarks that would be used. And we'd get that character, we'd get the Cosmic Rust, but Derek like reassured everyone, don't worry, he survives, he's fine. And if you had the widescreen version of Transformers Animated, which at the time was only available on Hasbro's channel, which the name escapes me right now, that failed. You would see he was in the crowd at one of the last episodes cheering, so he healed. And of course, the Allspark Almanac also reconfirmed his survival. That's an Eric question. I was deep in movie stuff at the time. Thank you, Aaron. Okay. I think it was Eric. I think it was Eric that worked on it because I remember sitting down with Derek and he was explaining it to me. He's like, "Yeah, like if you actually mess with the Sentinel Prime toy, it goes like this, and you could do the spoiler." So like the idea was still baked into the toy. And the same thing, if you look at the Elite Guard logo, it kind of had like that, Rodimus flame out kind of thing going too. There was a lot of early stuff. The Hub, that's what it was called. Ooh, rest in peace, the Hub. Wait, once again, Hasbro a couple years too early. Because if the Hub would have came out a couple years later, it would have been a streaming service, and then they wouldn't have had to focus on putting everything with Paramount. Timing is everything in life. Manning Fresh with the $20 super chat. Gold super chat, brother. What do we got here? All right, Manning Flesh, help me out here. If the aerial bots went back in time and found Orion Pax before he became Optimus Prime, well, how did it happen if Optimus Prime and the Autobots created them? Well, there's three kinds of ways that time travel is written. You have the parallel timeline theory, which is what Dragon Ball did, and technically the MCU, which is you go back in time and you change their future, but you still come back to your own timeline. Like Future Trunks, Dragon Ball fans, they went back, and the reason why I mentioned Dragon Ball because they're kind of one of the first to really do it proper in mainstream. He went back in time, changed their future, but still returned to his, desolate timeline. Then you have Back to the Future. Back to the Future believes that whenever you go back in time, you change things and it happens in real time. And when you go back, you're always changing things. And then the third one is everything is consistent, everything is meant to happen, you can't change anything. And that's kind of what Beast Wars did, where you actually can't change the future, everything is destined to happen. So like when they go on the ark and they find a spare shuttle that was never in the records, and then Rhinox goes because we're making history, everything was always meant to happen. Nothing could ever be changed. And so if the aerial bots go back in time to meet Orion Pax and then he becomes Optimus Prime, it's because it was always meant to happen and there's a crazy time loop that can never be broken no matter what. So there's those three things. Paradox, as Aaron says. But those are the three. Those are the three forms of time travel storytelling. The one that the one that's the most scientific is obviously the Beast Wars one, because if time travel really did exist, it would be that one. You can never change anything. It's impossible. The fact that we're drinking this can of Coke right now or whatever, and I go back in time to stop myself is impossible, because if I went back in time to stop myself, time is always linear. It's always happening. It's not something that just move forward. It's always happening at all times. We get into like deep, you know, Albert Einstein theory, but that one is the one that's probably the most realistic. The Future Trunks one is probably the one that's the easiest to write away, because whatever you change, at least you don't have to worry about what happens afterwards. And then Back to the Future is filled with contradictions and all kinds of craziness. So great movies. Don't get me wrong, great movies, but the way they handle time travel is a mess. So to answer your question, how did it happen if Optimus Prime and the Autobots created them? Again, it's that Beast Wars one where everything just happens. It's just meant to be. You know, everything happens. It's kind of like how um, there's another episode, but only on the Japanese side of thing, Call of the Primitives. People don't realize that the episode Call of the Primitives, on the Japanese side, like if you watch the Japanese dub of it, it's actually Primus the Oracle going back in time and meeting and bringing all of the Dinobots and the Primitives back in time to face off against early Tornatron and, of course, Primacron. And it completely changes how you look at that episode. So, very wacky stuff because they go back in time. And again, if the Dinobots went back in time and stopped Tornatron and Primacron, well, then how did that happen? Blah, 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 blah. So, G1 kind of has that. It's always happening. You can't change the future. Everything's always meant to be. And then Beast Wars kind of like he continues that a little bit. Tries to act like it's changing the future with the temporal waves and stuff, but in the end, everything still happens as it should. Quantum Leap, I'm not too familiar with that show, unfortunately. Wasn't a big watcher of that. Bootstrap, Closed Loop. See, again, I'm not familiar with that one either. I apologize. But I hope that answers that question more or less. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Francisco says he loves his Studio Series 86 Springer. I've been seeing some great side-by-side photos of it with the Voyager one. And it does look like it's a step up. A lot of extra bits and pieces, and I love that big "I've got better things to do tonight than die" missile. Always appreciate those 86 movie props that make it cool. God, this stuff is the worst. I'm going to save some for... No, I don't have to save some. There's 2 other cans of this for her. And Annie's in the chat. So 80s. Pick this up with Julian, Annie. It's grody. It's very grody. Annie's my sister, by the way, who's in the chat here. She's been to some TF cons in the past. But yeah. What else? What else? What else? Trying to think what else. Oh, here James says, well, if you think about it, Optimus Prime would not exist if the aerial bots had not been there to take him to Alpha Trion. Yeah, but see, and that's the problem. It's like the way that's written, it's circular. So it's like the aerial bots would have not been able to take him, but then so it's like it's a loop that you can't just break, and it's tough. Brainstorm 2002. I really want an animated Rodimus in Age of Primes. Well, that's a tough one to top. I mean, that Eric Siebeneller Rodimus, I mean, it has no kibble on him. Like he did some like they looked at like the masterpiece MP09 and did some crazy black magic, and it's such a great figure. I have like every version of that. I have the original Japanese clear version, the black repaint, the two BotCon exclusives that are Sideswipe and the Breakdown, Wild Rider. You know, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love that mold. I wish they made a little legend scale one. That would have just topped it all off. Would have been great. There wasn't enough merch, unfortunately. Not enough merch, but yeah, I love that one. So good, such a great figure. If you could find any way to get the original, go out of your way to get it. It was a Toys R Us exclusive, one of the last 4 animated toys ever made, along with RC and Cybertron Ratchet and Cybertron Ironhide. Those were the last 4 before that whole line got discontinued, unless you count the BotCon exclusives as an extension of that in 2011. But good stuff, great figure, little bow action. I know I'm sounding biased, no surprise, but I mean, I wish I could. Oh God, I hate messing with the camera, but can we get over there? There they all are, the orange boys with the Allspark. There's all the orange boys. There's some other stuff there you guys don't get to see. Oh, look, there's some Aaron Archer art next to some classic old robots. There's some big titty girls. That's actually from Gyro Zetter. That's a legitimate figure, people. I'm a completist. I gotta buy it all. Gotta buy it all. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I own Kissplay. Gotta buy it all. I'm a man of culture, even though I have a beautiful lady in my life. T-Formers 2002, Breakdown, Wild Riders, Lockdown. Excuse me, you're right. You're right. Okay, so yeah, he was, and then the RC mold was drag strip. You are correct. Just a sea of colors over there. I have all the BotCon exclusives all mashed together. Good times. I miss BotCon so much. As much as I love TFCon, God, we need a BotCon again. We need like a proper, big, crazy official Transformer convention. Gosh, I miss those. Play? What do you keep pushing? What's play, Aaron? Why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep saying play, brother? Ah, where are we at? A booby trap that actually catches boobies. Dead end was Jazz. That's correct. I could barely see him. He's buried behind everybody. It's because that damn lockdown mold is so tall. It's covering him. That big deluxe. That's a great figure too. If you ever get the lockdown, all the animated figures are amazing. BotCon is technically back, but it's under the Abacus crew, which I have nothing against them, but it's not the same thing. It's not officially licensed. It doesn't have 12 exclusives, you know? Every single BotCon box set all the way to the floor there, you know? Like I miss those big it was like Hanapalooza or Woodstock. everyone from around the world, the Japanese fans, the Chinese fans, we'd all congregate to one convention. And it was worth it for those Japanese guys to come because you get a big fancy box set with 5 exclusive figures, and then a whole bunch of 8 extra figures on the side and Krios. And they could buy multiples of those and bring them back and pay for their entire Japanese flight trip. I miss those. You get all the trading cards. Like, that whole weekend was amazing. Was amazing, and I wish we would go back there. Every time you say Kiss Play, oh, here you go, just for you, Aaron. Kiss Playa. I'm going to jail. Kiss Player, and some good alternator stuff there too, and some beautiful this and that. I'm going to jail. But yeah, I miss BotCon. Again, the other one, it's BotCon in name, but that's more just buying a license. And the people that work on the new BotCon are cool guys. I'm not saying it's not a good con. It needs that official stamp, and then people will flock to it. The second they get that, it's going to be a game changer. It'll definitely get my attention, that's for sure. It was good times. I went to every single BotCon. Here's my very first one. Grab the. There we go. My very first BotCon, 2001. Who was there? Look at Scotty. Scott McNeil. Look how he used to look. I remember I didn't get his autograph because I already met him at an anime con. It was my first time meeting Simon Furman. Who else was there? Vince was there. Vince DiCola, Peter Davids, who was one of the writers. Greg Berger, Gary, I already met from anime conventions. Michael Bell, I already met. But that was my first one. And back in the day, I was barely able to afford to go to it. So it was so ghetto. Oh, God. I'm so embarrassed when I always talk about it, but Goober knows what I'm talking about because Goober was part of the madness. We drove down and we slept in the car all weekend because we couldn't afford the hotel. We afforded the entry, and I was able to afford one exclusive. Keep in mind, I was not working at the time. So I had to scrounge money together. We all scrounged our money together. We all slept in the car to shower every day. Luckily, we had 2 buddies, Hydra, what, shout out to Hydra, that would have us access to the pool area. So we would go to the pool area, and then they had lockers and showers and everything. So we would shave, we would take a shower, we'd change, and then we'd do our day. Hardcore. And I was only able to buy one exclusive, and the exclusive choice, I don't know if they have it in the book here. It'd be cool if they show it. No. So you had a choice between RC, which was a repaint of Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia, or Tigatron, which was a repaint of the Ravage X9. And at the time, I could only afford one. So I got the RC because I was like, oh, damn, RC. We're never going to get a figure of her because at the time there was like no RC figures. And then years later, I would get the Tigatron. But yeah, we were madmen. And then after that, I was hooked. I was hooked because I went to this con. I got to hang out with all my buddies that I only got to talk to on message boards and MIRC, if anyone remembers that back in the day, the old chat program. And, hanging out with Hydra, hanging out with Azusa, hanging out with, Doug Dillon and geez, Dan Kahana. Trying to think of who else would be the old crew. Toy Hell. Oh my God, what's his name from Action Figure Archive? Oh my God, shame on me for forgetting his name. Alec Bickmore, Tony Prito, all the old guys, all the old heads that I never see at TFCon anymore. I never see them. They're not at TFCon, they're not at BotCon, but if you do a BotCon, like a real legit like one, they're gonna all show up again. And he knows what's up with MIRC. And he knows what's up. But that was my first one, my first show, and I always keep this as a memory because it's like, man, those were the days. Those were the days. T-Formers 2002, the new BotCon this year gave us the return of Bumper Robinson. That is true. That is a big deal. Bumper Robinson, after he did BotCon 2008, swore to never do conventions ever again. And then he came back, and now he's going to be at Baltimore. So, and Bumper Robinson for the longest time was a rare autograph to get. Very tough. But he's back. It only took like, what, 15 years? 15, 17 years? I don't know, whatever it took. Horned Owl, I bought a Kiss Player Auto Trooper figure off of the shelf at Toys R Us in Japan. Very nice. That means you got Atari. I thought it was a knockoff alternator figure. Oh, you got the world's smallest one, or did you get the full size one? Where you get Kremzik trying to go up Atari's you know what, you know? Good times. Good times. But yeah, good stuff. Archer Monster, Tony and Alex and Randy. True, Randy. I forgot about Randy. Tony Prito, Alex Bickmore, there's Randy. Who else? There's certain. Hold on, let me get a really good book. It's a Japanese book. Where is it? That Japanese book, History of BotCon. It's a really good one. Here it is. There we go. So this is a little older. It's a rare book. I didn't bring this on my book cast when we did it. Let me get some stuff out of the way here. So this is who did this book? This was this Tomoya? Hold on, who did this one? Did Tomoya do it? They didn't even credit themselves. Anyways, so this is a Japanese book called BotCon Legends, and it documents every BotCon up until the fun publication era. And it's really cool because it has like old photos and, you know, great cosplay. There's a very young Pete Sinclair with an Optimus Primal cosplay. And what's cool is it goes year by year. Let me try to turn the chair here so you guys can see it. We're not doing a good book one. And it goes year by year, all the exclusives in color. There's my year that I went. And even the BotCon Japan stuff, the Chrono Crew BotCon Japan stuff, the Super Hybrid Collection exclusives of the Galvatron that BotCon Japan only got, the unofficial BotCon, the Wreckers figures that never got released, and then tons and tons of interviews, which are cool because half of it's written in Japanese and in English, this whole book. So, you know what? If that's the case, it was probably either Tomoya or maybe Maka Ito, because they were notorious for doing bilingual Japanese print content. And then they go through every year what the exclusives were, the location, stuff that was shown in the artist alley. I wonder if there's an Aaron Archer figure. There's Peter Cullen when you could get a free autograph back in the day. Yeah. There's that Unicron prototypes. What do we got here? We got Sue Blue, a very young Scotty. Nope. I'm trying to look for an Aaron Archer photo so we can make him look young. There's a good one. There's Joe Ibe. Joe Ibe, who was one of the very first cosplayers of Transformers. He cosplayed as Metalhawk. He passed away recently, maybe 5-6 years ago. There's actually a segment on this podcast, uh, commemorating him because he was one of the very first Transformer cosplayers. He was like doing it back in like '89. Like he did a whole bunch of crazy ones. So we got some Animorph stuff. Make sure I don't miss anything. A lot of cool things here and there. What we got here. We got Alec Willows. We got John Machia. We got Greg Berger. Venus. Oh, there's Dan Kahana. More prototypes. More craziness. Yo, no Aaron Archer action? What's going on? Gotta get that mug. More Peter Cullen. Always wearing his hat back then. Now he doesn't wear the cowboy hat anymore. It's kind of funny. Back then he used to always wear the cowboy hat. He was always rocking it. Always rocking the cowboy hat. Mind you, you know what? We might not see Aaron Archer because Aaron came around in 2002, 2003, and by then we were already going into the fun publication era. Ah, Azusa. There's Azusa. His little article. I love you, Azusa. Get well soon. And then you got some Unicron.com exclusives. One of the first third-party items back in the day. Unicron.com used to make all kinds of stuff. Here's a cool one, Rodimus Primal, made from Baboom. I remember seeing that exclusive. That did like a tour at a few BotCons back in the day, where they took Baboom and turned it into Rodimus Primal. That's a cool one. You got Action Master RC, the infamous Unicron prototype that was mistransformed for years, the Spider Bandito and Oils Master, which again, finally got updates throughout the years, all kinds of other prototypes. It's a great book. I should probably scan it one day. What a great little book. Again, not official, Japanese book. I probably got it from Azusa, probably, or maybe Tomoya, one or the other. One of the many crazy archive of books. One of the many crazy ones. Let's make sure I don't miss any questions. I apologize. Where are we at? Still have the story of Scott McNeil told of his experience at BotCon 99 or 98, of his realization that Transformers meant something as he saw Code of Era. Well, you know what? My best Scott McNeil story. Oop, almost lost everything there. Almost lost everything. My favorite Scott McNeil story is Scott McNeil getting drunk at TFCon, one of the DoubleTree years, getting drunk at TFCon, and on the outside of a hotel, like on the outside of it, all around the perimeter, they'll have like rat traps. Like it's like these rat hotels that rats would go into and they get stuck in them. And so he went around the entire hotel. And I actually have a photo of him doing this. He went around the entire hotel and signed every rat trap with a marker. And they've obviously probably changed those rat traps since then. But I'm going to try to find that photo. It's Scott McNeil signing a rat trap. It's hilarious. Good old Scotty. Where are we at? Petey worded that so much that he added, one of his figures, one of the movie figures had a guy wearing and also I think one of the holograms in the comic books for Optimus Prime was a dude wearing a cowboy hat. It's funny that he just like completely stopped wearing it altogether when that was like his thing for years. And it's funny because now Scott McNeil's the guy who's always wearing a cowboy hat. Maybe he got it from Peter. Maybe there's some lore there. It's the passing of the Matrix. Passing of the Matrix. What's up, Ninjatron? But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And Aaron says, Ninja! Ninja. I just, Ninjatron, I showed one of your sketch cards that you drew me many years ago. Because someone in the chat asked me to show all my Rodimus cards that I got throughout the years. And so I showed the sketch cards too. So it was one of your sketch cards you did for me many years ago. Many, many, many years ago. When I was getting all the cool artists to do them for me. So get some Ninjatron art. Here, I have some right here. I have some Ninjatron art right near me. You got to make more of these, Ninja. You got to continue I got this first, then you got the second one. Who's going to be next? Who's going to be Luigi? Who's going to be Peach? Got to make the next one, my friend. I always like having those. T-Formers 2002. What was Scott's last TF convention? Seems like it's been a while. Would be cool to meet him. Geez. He's been to TFCon so many times that it's like, it's sad because I met him at like an anime convention in like 2001, 2002. And then after I got like those initial few autographs, every convention he's been in afterwards, whether it be TFCon or BotCons, it was always like, oh, hey, Scotty's here. But then you just kind of like, they all just merged together. So I don't know. When was this? Was he at? I don't know. You'd have to look it up. He must have been at a Toronto one at some point recently in the post Big V era, for sure. He must have been at one. So He does like 50 shows a year. Like no joke. Like if you go to an anime convention, there's a 50% chance Scott McNeil is there. And then sometimes he'll bring his best buddy in the world is Lee Tokar, who is the voice of Ravage. So between the two of them, you know, so many. Aaron Archer says, my son has the Ninja Marios on the back of his Switch. Ah, very cool. Very cool. Well, I dig it because I think Dylan did this the same year I did the Fami Convoy. So I'm pretty sure he didn't plan it. Like it was just like he happened to do this, I happened to do that, and it just kind of worked out in the end. So Super Mario. Very cool. Very, very cool. And I like the Yoshi Grimlock too. That was really cool. David Cabal with the $2 super chat. Do you like One Piece? Who's your fave straw? Who's your fave straw hat? One Piece, unfortunately, it's funny actually. Oh, it's not here. It's in the other room. One Piece, unfortunately, I watched like the first maybe 20 episodes or so. And this was like back when it first came out, when it was first fan subs. And we're talking like early 2000s, like 2003, maybe I saw it. And then I was just kind of like, it's not for me. Like I didn't feel it. And I get it. It has a huge following. People really like it. And hey, that's cool. But I don't know. I was more like, if you looked at that time when One Piece was out, I was watching Eye Shield, which was a football anime. I was watching Initial D. I was watching, what else was coming out around? Naruto was huge. Can't deny that one. Um, I mean, it was okay, but it's not for me. It's just not for me. There's so much other anime I was watching around that time. God, what was it? 2003, 2004. So what was out around that time? There was that. There was Ohra and Host Club. There was His and Her Circumstance. There was a whole bunch of stuff around that time. I know I'm forgetting something. Probably even Cowboy Bebop was probably just showing up for the first time around then. No, that was in the 90s, late 90s, excuse me. Because that would have been around the time of Trigun also. But yeah, sorry, David, don't have an answer for that one. Not a big fan personally. Not that I hate it. It's just if I'm going to dedicate a lot of time and energy to an anime, I really have to dedicate. Like I'm watching Kinnikuman nonstop, but I literally have them next to me. You know, no joke. That I love Kinnikuman. Canadian Man and Kinnikuman. Yeah. Uh, Manning Fresh with the $10 gold super chat. Do you think we will get a Haslab of Autobot City from the Transformer 86 movie that it transforms? Well, it'd have to be an orange. That's the first thing I would hope. Orange exterior transforms white interior. It would be a good excuse to get that Metroplex trademark used again, but they kind of saved themselves by doing the Cybertron one. I mean, that's the only reason why we got the Cybertron Metroplex. Let's be real. No one at Hasbro was going like, we need to do Cybertron Metroplex, aka Megalo Convoy. They were just like, dude, that Metroplex trademark's coming up. We got to do something. And they didn't have like a tiny turbo changer they could have done or something. So they bought themselves some time. Annie says the live action One Piece was good. You saw it, Annie? Interesting. I only saw like just a little bit of it just to see. It looked like it was faithful at least. It looked like it had a good budget. The one thing with Japanese anime getting live action adaptations, usually the biggest weakness is it not getting a good budget. Like the Kenshin one was really good. The Initial D one was really good, but that's because it was made in Hong Kong, if I remember correctly. Young, I don't know if you're in the chat, Young. You were the one who schooled me on that. Um, but I think it was made in Hong Kong or something. So they had a lot of budget. So the Initial D one was really good. And then it's really about it of Japanese adaptation. Let you count Speed Racer, but that's Hollywood. That was really good too. But all the other ones are kind of hit or miss. The Attack on Titan one was bleh. The JoJo ones were okay. I think the Rohan one was good, but that was more because it wasn't really relying on special effects. So a lot of them are pretty rough. The Death Note one was kind of meh. The Gundam one was ugh. Let's not even talk about that one. Brainstorm 2000. Oh, and then again, thank you for the gold super chat, Manning Fresh. But hopefully we'll get it. I mean, I still think that the next The next Haslab's got to be a Primus. Why did we not get a Primus? Where, like, if you're going to get a big thing that will not fit for retail to go up against your Unicron, why not do Planet Cybertron for the 40th anniversary? I'm surprised they didn't do that, but maybe next year. Maybe for again, 2025 is the 40th anniversary of Transformers for Japan, so maybe they'll do it then. Brainstorm 2002 with the $2 super chat. Do you have Evangelion MP10? No, I do not. My wife is a huge Evangelion fan. She has an Evangelion Zebek collection of all the mechas. She has model kits. She has like this huge Ava figure that she bought. She loves Ava. She's not a fan of the show per se because she thinks the show is kind of although she likes Kawaru, but she loves the mecha designs. Loves the mecha designs. And so many times I was tempted to pick up the MP10 colored one. But me personally, I'm not going to drop $300, $400 on something that's a color scheme that doesn't speak to me. If I'm going to spend like $400 on a Transformer, I'm going to pick up some stuff that I want that I still haven't gotten yet, you know? So that's kind of where that's going. So I do not have that one, unfortunately. And didn't they do one with even, if I remember correctly, did MPO1 get an Ava color scheme too, or was it just MP10? No, it was just MP10 because the Spike figure turned into Shinji. That's right. And it had the near, or excuse me, not near, Nerve logo on it. Okay, never mind. I always have to like work it in my head, and then it starts to make sense. Rudy Mack with the YouTube member question: is there a character design based on you, Proto? That is Animated Rodimus. Go to Animated Rodimus's Wikipedia, scroll all the way to the bottom, and the rest is history. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Derek. The reason why that happened was because Derek met me in 2008. We hung out to have dinner in 2008. He was still low profile at the time. No one knew who Derek Wyatt was. We went to an early panel on a Thursday. Derek showed the episode Garbage In, Garbage Out, if I remember correctly. We all went out to eat. Me and him had the same love for obscure mecha series. At the time, he was watching Gurren Lagann, which he was really into. And then he really liked the way that I dressed. I was wearing a Hot Topic Rodimus t-shirt at the time. So you have the big Rodimus on the chest. I had this popped collar that was like up to my earlobes practically. And to quote Derek, he said, I looked like anime. And I had a full head of hair back then. And the rest was history. Go on the wiki, scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see it right there. Daniel Protoman Arsenault. Based on Rodimus. Rodimus was based on one aspect of him. The bow and arrow thing was Hawkeye. That's the crest on the helmet. But the skinny legs, which were my skinny jeans, which you could still see my skinny legs in a recent Twitter post from Transformers 1. Skinny legs, skinny jeans, popped collar, big Rodimus, flame, matrix of leadership. I always keep it on my desk. Matrix of leadership necklace. If you know, you know. Where are we at here? Proto, what's your favorite Ultraman brother movie? Ooh. I really like, first of all, my favorite Ultraman brother of the brothers is Ultra 7. Probably Ultra 7 overall. I also love Zero. Zero is awesome. My favorite movie, probably the Mega Monster Battle Zero movie, the first one that Zero debuted in. The Ultra Brothers Reunite, the first movie is really good. Could be a little campy at times, but that one's really good. The Ultraman Taro movie compilation is another really good one because it's the first time you see the Ultraman planet of M17 and the Land of the Light. And it's very rinky dinky. It's made out of Lego practically, if you look carefully and screen cap it. Those are three that I could name, but I would go. I always tell people like watch like a couple of the early Ultraman stuff and then jump straight to that mega monster battle movie because that's like super high budget. I always say that's the Ultraman crew watching Revenge of the Fallen and going like, we could do that. We're gonna steal that. you know, we're gonna steal that. It's a really good movie. Love the choreography. Superior Ultra 8. That's the sequel to the other one I was talking about. That one's good too. That one's good too. It has a weird twist on it, but that one you have to be like a hardcore Ultraman fan to really appreciate it. Because there's a lot of like, like the actors and the deep cuts and these ships that never happened in the fiction, but here they are. That's a really deep cut one. That one, Ninjatron. Like you have to watch Tiga and those two characters that never got together, but in this alternate universe they got married and have kids, and these two had kids, and that's a deep cut one. That's one where if you go back and watch that after you've seen everything, and you really appreciate that one. But you have to watch like hundreds of episodes, which I did over a span of 20 years. So thank you to Ultra LAH doesn't exist anymore. It was the early Ultraman community in the early days of the internet. Every episode to watch, non-subtitled, in RA real player format. They had everything, and I watched it all. God bless you guys. You were amazing. You were absolute legends back then. It's okay if there's only 97 viewers. It's cool. You know what I love? We finish the segments. We always finish the live stream at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then it goes in a coma for a bit because YouTube has to, process it, make sure I didn't go naked or something. And then when it goes live around like 11 o'clock, I notice I go to bed, I wake up in the morning, there's over 1,000 views. People overnight all around the globe, they watch the live stream and replays and they love it. So I'm cool with it. It's cool if in real time. How many do we have? 99. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Recent animated Ultraman series. Not only do I love it, Sandy loves it. She loves it. She's not a big Ultraman person because she's not big into the Toku stuff. Although she likes Kamen Rider. She liked Kamen Rider Kabuto mostly because of the pretty boys. Um, she's not big into the Toku stuff, but she really liked the Ultraman Netflix series. She loves what's it, Remy? The little alien there? She loves it. She even loves the theme song. Ultraman's got a plan and he's gonna na, na, na. Very cool. And we met them all at San Diego Comic-Con, all the suit actors. Were pretty cool. We're getting any turbo. Are we going to get any Turbo Masters in the future? Huh. I wish more UK stuff. I would love to get more UK stuff. Turbo Masters are really cool. Oh God, you could barely see them. There's Boss and some of the others there. David Quell, awesome Ninjatron. Remind me. Yeah, that one, but see, David, that one's really good, but oh my God, you're not going to you half of it you're not going to be able to appreciate, which is such a shame. All that time I was drawing, you were watching anime. I watch a lot of anime. I watch a lot of anime. I don't like a lot of Western media. It's garbage. A lot of it, especially modern Western media today. So much of it is blah. I need to be based. I need to not care about people's feelings. David Cabal. I still remember your interview with Derek. Oh my God, that interview with Derek Wyatt was 2009 or 2010. My interview with Derek Wyatt when he was on Scooby Doo and you talked about Gargantuan and season 4 Transformers Animated. When was that? Was that on the podcast or that one I don't remember? Was that on the podcast? Because I've done like 2 different interviews with Derek in person, one at the Quest Bar, one in front of the women's washroom. Whole other story with that one. We didn't plan on that. Um, and then we did another interview when he was on the podcast, like once or twice. I think twice he was on the podcast back in the day. I don't remember. It was so long ago. God, I miss that dude. He was so cool. He was such a good guy, man. Such a good guy. Um, Ashnud, either way, leave a like. Yeah, leave a like if you want to leave a like. If you don't want to leave a like, hey, the likes help the algorithm. That's all I could say about the likes. That's about it. Yeah. What's up, Paul? Goober in the house. Goober has a whole bunch of cool Ultraman stuff. David, if you want to see some cool Ultraman stuff, go look at Goober's live streams. He went to Japan and bought a whole bunch of Sufubis for like absolutely nothing, making me jealous. Do I have any nearby? No, they're all on my display right now. I know I bought some recently from Korea. There was a guy who had a whole bunch of them. Gosh, I wish I had them nearby to show you guys. I got Chuck, Ultraman Chuck from the Ultraman USA series. Rudy Mack with the $2 super chat. Transformers Animated was great. Original too. Animated was a prime example of if you have someone that's a professional in the industry that also is a huge fan of the brand and its lore. And when you have that perfect mix where they're fans, but they also understand the business side of it, like me. No, I'm just joking. You could do a lot. And Derek was such a key figure to that. Marty Eisenberg with his writing also helped a lot. You know, it was a perfect, like, you know, talk about getting all the right cooks in a kitchen and just making the best stew ever instead of it being normally ruined, as the saying goes. You know, too many cooks. But it was just all the right people. And man, it just knocked it out. And they were smart. They were so smart. They ended on a high note and they made people wanting more. And then they ended up becoming legends. You know, they didn't become like Elvis and get old and fat, you know, or they didn't become like, you know, Michael Jackson and go in a weird direction. They retired legends, you know, and then Derek passes away, which is an absolute tragedy, but him passing away almost adds to that legend. You know what I mean? It made him a legend. It made like this whole you couldn't write it. You know what I mean? And that's why animated's awesome. It had, you know, two books that pretty much double as art books, even though Derek doesn't consider them canon. So, but they're great art books. If you want great art books, the almanacs are great for that. They're just not canon, according to Derek Wyatt. He tweeted that many times. He was not happy about those books, but they're great art books. Yeah, animated is awesome. Animated's only flaw was a very short toy line. You know, Armada, huge. Energon, huge. Cybertron, huge. Animated, kind of tiny. Prime, huge. You know, because I look at because I'm a completist, so I see how much I have of each and animated. And I have like all the bumping battlers and all the weird stuff. I wish I could show you. I barely see them. But like there's the bumping battlers and stuff. Don't want to mess with the microphone too much. Have you ever watched High School DxD? I heard it was quite the ecchi anime. I did not watch that one, but it's an ecchi anime, so if I would have had the time, I probably would have watched it, but I didn't. I never had the time for that one. I think when that came out, I was probably watching JoJo and Attack on Titan and God, what else was out at the time? A lot of times too on like I go to you know, some bootleg anime websites. A lot of times those bootleg anime websites will have really good subs of old anime. Oh, like Playrest Sanshiro, old 1980s anime about, you know, Pokemon wrestlers, I guess is the best way to put it. Little robot Pokemon wrestlers. Like they have these little robots that are like Pokemon that fight. It's almost kind of like Mega Man EXE 2 in a sense, but in person instead of digital. Was watching that at the same time. I mean, you can only watch so many series at once while working on a podcast, while doing creative writing and stuff like that for different companies, while watching Transformers, while reading every comic book, while keeping up with Marvel stuff, while keeping up with this. I always say the world has so much cool stuff, but yet so little time to be alive in it. Such a shame. Aaron says, Proto, take it larger. People with passion and professionalism make great stuff. Well, they do. They do. I got to see it firsthand with Derek, you know, because I would talk with him about like, would you put Primus in the lore? How would you handle Unicron? You know, all of that stuff. He drew me the only official version of Rodimus Magnus, if he existed. I have the only copy of it. He drew me like long after season 3's done. I'm like, It's never going to happen. I know you told me that Rodimus Magnus would have been a thing in season 4, in that there was a time travel episode where Bumblebee and Bulkhead would get caught in an explosion. They would end up in a parallel future where Galvatron won and killed Rodimus Magnus and takes over Cybertron, and some craziness that he mentioned. All the details. Probably should pull out that book. I don't know where it is. It's one of my many books there. But PMP fight. Ninjatron knows what's up with Playlist Sanshiro. There you go. Um, but he drew me what the design would have been like, and he took the time to make it look really nice with the jaw and everything, and the more seasoned look. So that was really cool of him to do that for me. I have that, like, that's in the archives. I should probably like hang that one day. So cool. Where are we at? I don't want to miss anything here. David Cabal, yeah, was on Transformer Slag. Okay, the Canadian Slag podcast. Before we were Transformer Slag, we were Canadian Slag back from 2009 up until 2014. We were Canadian Slag, and then I took it global. Figured there was a lot more we could do than just a MP3 file on a Canadian website. And the rest was history. We're almost running out of this garbage. Our sale sees with Proto. Oh well, look, anime is what is the prototype of early internet stealing stuff. All our MP3s that we got back in the day. We didn't go out and buy music CDs of your favorite animes and your favorite intros and outros. Nah, man, you got to find MP3s on Napster or Morpheus or LimeWire or Direct Connect, or I could go on and on. Same thing with anime. None of us were buying. Okay, I was buying bootleg VHSs from my Chinatown. I had that opportunity, and to go to Toronto and do that too, which had a way bigger Chinatown than even locally here. But most people didn't have that. So the early days of fan subs of Dragon Ball, Initial D, Slam Dunk, trying to think of what else I was downloading, in real player format. Shout out to Rockman666, who did all the Transformer Takara stuff back in the day before Wolfpack Productions did them with Hydra and Lonely Gamer. Shout out to all those talented individuals that gave us our fiction. Toy Armada went on animated. Man, how could you do it without Derek there? Man, I don't know. I'd feel so weird doing it without Derek there, though. Like, we'd have to get Eric Siebeneller, Aaron. We'd have to get someone who would be or you know what? Didn't Marcelo do some of the box art for animated? I think he did the box art for it based off of Aaron's designs. I don't remember. I remember Aaron was not Aaron. It was Derek was explaining that to me. Where are we at? Where are we at? What's for dessert for after the Oreo? So I saved this image for everyone. So what am I having tonight? Well, we already ate it. My wife got a whole bunch of different meats, and we had Korean barbecue, and we just crushed it. It was amazing. That's bok choy on the top left there. So we had pork belly, which she personally marinates it herself, sesame oil, oyster sauce, soy sauce. I forget what else she uses. She uses a whole bunch of concoction. She's amazing. So she marinated the pork belly, because pork belly needs to be marinated. Otherwise, it's just bacon without flavor. We got ribeye, and we got what was the last one? Chuck something? I don't know. She bought the 3 of them. We bought a whole bunch of them raw. We marinated them overnight. We had them today. It was delicious. It was amazing. We had it with rice, bok choy, and that. As for dessert, I don't know. I am getting rid. These are disgusting. These are nasty. I am not eating another one. You couldn't even pay me. Ugh. I don't know. I'll have a little something light before we go to bed tonight. We'll see. Aaron says Eric, Marcelo, Marty, and Matt. Matt who? Matt Eisenberg did the box art also? Assume not Matt Moylan? Who did the I'm losing everything here. David Cabal, I remember my friend would download the Vince DiCola OST. Dude, that was probably one of the very first real player file I probably ever downloaded was You Got the Touch, Dare, and Attack on Autobot City, and Death of Optimus Prime. And I downloaded those from transformersarchive.com back in the day. And we're talking like 1990, 96, 97, 98, like early internet days. Dang, Proto, yeah, that's the whole point. It's just to make everyone get hungry. I apologize, especially at this hour, you know? Good stuff. Good stuff. My wife's amazing when it comes to Asian food. That's the only reason why I'm with her. I'm with it for the food, all the free food, all the good Asian food forever. I don't have to like imagine this probably if I went to a Korean barbecue place, this probably would cost me $80 after taxes and tip. So saved some money there. I could go buy me something. Ninjatron, me and Party Paul are having funny stories about Chinatown in Toronto. Which one did you go to though, Ninjatron? There's two Chinatowns. There's the Dragon City Chinatown that was near the old Silver Snail, and then there's the uh, Pacific Mall Chinatown. That's what I love about Toronto. It has two huge Chinatowns. Although the Dragon City one's not as big as it used to be. We went post COVID, and it's unfortunately not as big as it used to be. Kind of got wrecked. Clark Clint Gaming Proto. I hope this isn't too personal, but how did you meet your wife? Oh, I don't mind telling that. So, and it's what I always tell people. You know how you meet someone? You gotta leave the effing house. Went to a New Year's party. No joke. So, funny story. I actually knew her in college. We actually took the same judo class together, but I didn't notice her in the judo class because I was Mr. Arrogant. Ooh, look at me with my brown belt. I wasn't even a black belt. Look at me with my brown belt. But I was friends with one of her friends. There was another female friend that I was friends with, so I knew her through that judo class and everything. That was that, right? I was taking judo. I really liked beating up on guys because I'm a weirdo like that and putting them in chokeholds. My teacher Akio used to yell at me, "No chokes, no chokes." I was doing more MMA kind of stuff back then. This is college. So I knew her through that back in like 2001, 2002. Fast forward years later, 2005, 2006, I'm at a New Year's party. That same friend that I knew in judo class, the other girl, she threw a party. She invited me. She invited a bunch of other people. We all know each other. And then I went to that party. I met her. We had similar things in common. But what really attracted me to her, she drove a manual transmission car. And as someone who's a mechanic, that is so rare to know a woman of my age or younger, millennials, Zoomers, even Gen Xers that drive a manual transmission, let alone a woman. So I was like, that is fascinating. Then she showed me her car. She had a V6 Toyota Solara, which is like picture like the 2000s Mustangs, but made by Toyota. They're kind of ugly, but I was like, you're driving a V6 Toyota Solara, souped up, manual transmission? Who are you, honey? And then we hit it off. And then the rest is history. The rest is history. And of course, if they let me get away with this, then she's a keeper. And she cooks. And she's good looking. Damn. Sign me up. Frodo, raffle off the Oreos. Why would anyone want these? I will show them for anyone who just came in late. So my wife got Coca-Cola Oreos. She wanted to try them out. And I told her, if you would mind, let me open it on the live stream first so I could try one live. And they are the most disgusting things I have ever had. They smell like Coca-Cola. They taste like Coca-Cola. Oh, God, I just opened it. It smells terrible. Oh, God. Oh, they are disgusting. Disgusting. But Goober probably loves them because he's crazy. I don't know if Goober said anything about it. They are nasty. Matt Youngbird was the animated director. Okay. I was wondering who did the box art, though. I think it was Marcelo. I remember Marcelo mentioning something like that. Right in Toronto, not Pacific Mall. Okay, so you probably went to the Dragon City one. I like the Dragon City one. It used to be really good back in the early 2000s when like Digimon was on Fox, and back in the 2001, 2000. That place was hype. There was so much good stuff there. Proto did judo. Yep. I could show. I have my old judo stuff, everything still. Still have my uniform and everything. But Akio, my teacher, he passed away. Passed away in 2010. He was like my Mr. Miyagi. His brother is still alive, and his brother used to train the Canadian judo for the Olympics. His brother supposedly was even better judo master than him, but I never got to meet his brother. Very cool dude, Akio. Akio Nakamura. Vanier College, my judo teacher. I miss the dude. And it sucks because that was like an era before like digital cameras. I have no photos with him. No photos. And I regret that so much because back then it was still, and then no photos with him. A couple years later, like 2 years later, I would have gotten my first digital camera and I probably would have taken 1,000,000 photos. Such a shame. T-Formers 2002, they have Coke that tastes like Oreos. Oh, God. Yuck. What are you guys doing? Are we past the 2-hour mark? Oh, no, we're going to have to cut this. Maybe, we'll go another 20 minutes or so. I'm feeling nice today. It's been a good day today. Yeah, see, Annie just said it too. The Coca-Cola drink with Oreo flavor. What the? Oh, God, just pour that shit out. Pour that out. Pour it down the sink. This one's done too. Next week, we're going to be having... So next week, we're going to bring one of 3 different Bumblebee types, and you guys will pick the Bumblebee for this one. And then you're going to force Proto to finish. Oh, good Lord. 97 grams of sugar. Ugh. Yuck. Things I do for this podcast. Brainstorm 2002. What do you think they'll do for more Autobot Pretenders? You know me. Let me pull my boy out. I loved this, but unfortunately this didn't do well. Little Prime Masters, Pretender Shell Armors. I would love it. Look, I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Kojin Ono. I think it was Kojin Ono. Kojin Ono from Takara, he did an interview for, I want to say it was the Train Bots, but I might be wrong on that. But he did an interview in Figure King magazine, and he said he always brings up making a Metal Hawk masterpiece, and everyone else always goes, maybe next time, Ono-san. So it sounds like even on the Japanese side of things, it's not easy getting Pretender shells off the ground. So that's kind of a shame. And yeah, I did see the third-party one. I retweeted it. It looked really cool. David Cabal, bootleg DBZ keychain figures. I probably have tons of those. I have 2 boxes in my crawl space of just all kinds of wacky Dragon Ball merchandise. Most of it bootleg because that's all that existed back in the day before Bandai really started running with it. Bandai of America, excuse me, not Japan. Japan was always doing stuff. We'll answer a few more questions and then we'll call it quits. Where's Butters? Butters, what's up? Hold on, let me try to get Butters here. I'm gonna screw up the camera. A little more. There we go. There he is, chilling. He's always chilling in like a villain behind me. And now I just screwed up the camera. See that stupid thing there. There we go. There we go. Almost done. Let's see. We'll take one last question, then we'll call it quits. Brainstorm 2002. I mean, the robot mode's not the shell. Well, I mean, look, we've had Metal Hawks that are robot modes. We've had Bludgeons that are fusions of the two. Skull Grins. I mean, I'd love to get Crossblades and Landfill and all of those done like in new figures outside of those Prime Masters. Octo Punch, technically, through BotCon got one. That was like a fusion of the two into the robot mode using the Sea Spray mold. I hope you could hear me in the microphone because I just moved everything, just screwed up everything. I don't know. I hope so. There's some trademarks that need to be used. So at some point we're going to get a Metal Hawk again. At some point we're going to get a a landmine again. At some point, we're going to get a Skullgrin again, a bludgeon, obviously. You know, sooner or later, Oil Master. That'd be nice if that get done. Oil Master is a bit of a deep cut. Um, Oil Master was named after a Japanese fan in the fandom. It was Chojin. What was it called? It was Akio Chojin, which means like oil, it was something Oil Master translates to. Hydra told me the story with that, and that's why it was called Oil Master. The character was a kind of an homage to him. But yeah, David Quell, thank you, Proto, and everyone else for this Sunday. And enjoy your Sunday tomorrow. Oh, I will. I will. Sunday's my day off. We're gonna go do some delicious food shopping and something. Actually, I probably want to warn you guys in advance. There's a 50-50 chance we might not have a Friday segment. It's still 50-50 because I might be taking a short trip to the States just for the day. Not sure yet. So just a warning in advance for that one. But we will see. But that's it, more or less. I think we are done for tonight. We got an extra 15 minutes out of my ugly mug. So thanks again, everyone. Thank you for the beautiful super chats, all the people that super chatted today and joined and stuff. Once again, if you want to continue supporting the podcast, we have the Patreon link down there below. You can join the Patreon, help support the podcast. If Patreon's not your thing, you have those beautiful green names that were in the chat today. Those are the YouTube members. That's what that join button is for YouTube. So you could choose if you want to do Patreon, you get your Discord access and exclusive access, or if you want to do the YouTube membership and ask a million questions every time that I'm more than happy to answer. I tell you how I met my girl, I'll tell you anything. But yeah, so either way, yeah, stuff on me. But so thank you again. Thanks for all the love and support, guys. Take care of yourselves, your friends, your family, your loved ones. I am out of here. I'm going to go chill, play some Nintendo, and just relax. Rock out with your cock out. Peace.